Yo, what's up YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pot. My name is Shishi Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
So a few days ago, I got a really interesting post that was sent to my Instagram, and this was actually a social experiment that was ran on Twitter. Now, this was a really interesting post. The headline of the post read, "Ladies, who y'all got?" And what followed was a photo of two different guys. And so the social experiment was simple. Which one of these guys would you date if you had to choose and was given the opportunity? So I'm reading this and I'm like, this is kind of interesting. The first guy's name was Lamar. He was 28 years old, an aspiring rapper / drug dealer, good pipe, pays your bills, 2 baby mamas, granny loves you. That's the first guy. The second guy to choose from was Tyler. Tyler is 30 years old. Never cheats, makes 6 figures, 100K a year, average pipe, suburbanite, which basically means a person who lives in the suburbs. And shout out to one of my subscribers for letting me know what that means. Used to date white women, and his mother doesn't like you. So of course the women began to pick which men they would prefer. So this female commenter said, "Is Tyler willing to learn how to bust his cheeks correctly? And he's gonna have to explain why white women? Question mark, question mark, question mark." And the surprising thing about that is that was a deal breaker to quite a few women, man. Let's keep reading. This female commenter says, "Dating white is a deal breaker, but not dealing drugs, ... Laugh out loud." And of course, that's like very surprising. I want you guys to really think about that. You are more liable for this woman who commented this to disqualify you from her dating you because you're attracted to white women. She can't forgive that, but she can forgive you being a drug dealer. Crazy. This next female commenter says, "Who spelled subordinate like that? LMAO. Tyler had me, but that used to date white bothers me." So this male commenter says, "The number of women using dated white as an excuse to date an admitted drug dealer is not surprising," he says, "honestly. But I can also sense it. Also, this guy, even though he's not surprised, doesn't like this coffee.
This coffee smells like shit."
And some people might say, well, what's wrong with that? And if you're willing to ask that question, then you're part of the problem, right? There is something slightly off about a bunch of women who'd rather date a drug dealer over a guy who's a more stable choice. This female commenter says, "I have a question. Can Tyler follow instructions to improve that stroke game? Has Tyler ever dated a black woman before? How many heated arguments before Tyler says something anti-black to me?" This male commenter says, "Yo, these comments are hella sad. Listening to my black women justify dating drug dealers with multiple baby mamas. This is why our people are so doomed. With the facepalm, being nigger rich is so appealing to us." Which was followed by this female who commented, "Lamar every time," with a bunch of exclamation marks. This woman said, "Tyler, I am not trying to be a baby mama in a mansion. I don't want any parts in drugs. Drug dealing is putting my life / his life in danger. He has to make an honest living. Granny may love me, but I am not required to be with her grandson and change him." Finally, a woman with some sense, which is followed by this female commenter who says, "I'ma just be single and F with Lamar. It's just something about a man effing with a white woman that'll never sit right with me." And again, the fact that Tyler has dated white women seems to be a deal breaker for a lot of these women. I'm curious, guys, comment down below. Are you surprised by that? So this female commenter says, "Tyler gonna look real good when we trying to buy a house." And so to this woman, Tyler has qualified as a beta male provider. Next comment by a woman said, "Well, how much money he make drug dealing?" So she wants to know just how much money he makes, because it might be worth her dating a drug dealer who would risk her life and raise children who want to aspire to do the same type of work, right? This female commenter says, "Lamar, 100K a year ain't even impressive. My daddy make more than that." Congratulations to your father. Next commenter says, "Used to date white. Why though? So this is a repeat commenter. She came back to say, I got another question. Does Lamar have an exit plan? Is he working on legitimizing his income? Does he take care of his kids? Does he have a good relationship with the mothers of his children? Does he believe in birth control? I think no to the last one for sure. And he would probably tell you, Lamar will probably tell you, hell yeah, to everything in the beginning to keep you in the cycle of coming back to him so he can keep busting those cheeks, right? This female commenter said, I'm gonna pick Lamar, bye. Laugh out loud. She's just letting it be known and she's out of here. This male commenter says, they're gonna choose the futures of the world, not the Russell Wilsons of the world, with the laughing emojis and 107 likes. This woman said, well, does Lamar cheat? That's not on there. That's her deal breaker, right? You can be a drug dealer. You can operate an illegal business. She will stick by your side through childbearing, everything. But if you cheat, that's her deal breaker. And I think that's a lot of women. If you really think about it, they would probably rather be with a loyal drug dealer and gangbanger before they give the Tylers and the Russell Wilsons of the world a chance. This next commenter says, Lamar, thank you. This woman commented, Tyler, easy. His mom gonna have to see me about her son sometime though. Laugh out loud. This chick says, hi Tyler, so she's going with Tyler. This woman says, Lamar, and that's why my poor right now. And finally, this chick said, who's even picking Tyler? So guys, I thought this was really interesting for a few reasons. Number one, I've done a few videos kind of comparing like Russell Wilson and Future as prototypes that represent the different types of men that women find attractive depending on what stage they are in their lives, right? You've got your Futures who get the women when they're in their prime because they're trying to capture, lock down the highest, the man who they view as the most alpha. But then as they hit the wall, start to lose value, or some of them just start to snap out of it and realize, hey, this beauty's not going to last forever. They look for the Russell Wilsons. They look for the Tylers. To a lot of women, Tyler isn't as attractive. The Russell Wilson isn't as attractive until Lamar has had his way with those cheeks. Right? Until life's beating them down, until they're 3 kids, 4 kids in, that's when they're looking for the simp to come and save them, to rescue them, the cleanup guy. And so here's the honest truth, man. A lot of people could ask, well, Chisha, why do you care so much? And why do you make these videos about Russell Wilson? Well, it's to show men the playbook, the dualistic mating strategy, so that they know, hey, maybe I can't be Lamar because drug dealing is crazy. Living for the moment now, and I'm a bit more careful, I'm a bit more strategic with my life. I see my lifespan in 10-year increments, right? I'm investing now so I could be successful later on, right? Maybe I can't be Lamar, but I'm not going to be Russell Wilson, because there's levels to this thing, as always. What you can be is a mixture of both. There's something every man can learn from Future. There's something you can learn from the Futures of the world, right? When it comes to how to attract women, how to treat women so you maintain a healthy sexual life, sexual tension, how to be sexual appealing to a woman. You can learn a lot from the Futures, and you can also learn a lot from the Russell Wilsons. And guys, the goal here is not to get yourself a virgin, right? Because in my last video where I said, is Russell Wilson a simp? And I basically said, yes, he is, because men say he is. And I laid out a bunch of reasons. A lot of guys said, well, you can't say one of the reasons is because he's the cleanup guy, because we're all cleanup guys. I'm like, nah, well, there's levels to this shit. Of course, we're all not going to get virgins, right? That's not going to happen. Not in this time that we're living in. Get used to it. If you're looking for it, just let it go, bro.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
But like I said, there's levels, right? You don't have to be the guy who's taking care of 3 kids from another man. Even though most women today do have a past, you don't have to be the guy who gets the worst situation out of the bunch. When you realize this, you know your value. You know that with women who are over the age of, I'd say like 26, 27, especially 28 when they hit that epiphany phase, you have more leverage with those women. And ideally, I think I speak for most men, we want a woman who doesn't have kids from another man, which is why I say, there's levels to this thing. right? There's a lot you can learn from both sides, and you don't want to be the guy over here who's creating a bunch of kids either. And so when people say, well, why are you talking about this? Well, it's so that men know, number one, and I could care less at the end of the day what women do, as long as they don't complain and blame the majority of men. That's when I have a problem, is when I hear women say, well, men don't take care of the kids. Majority of black men are childless. So you don't speak for the majority of black men when you complain about, black men don't take care of the kids. It's like, oh, most of them don't have kids. You don't get to complain when you choose Lamar and Lamar treats you like shit and you don't like that coffee.
No, I'll have a tea actually.
You don't. But the problem is, besides the obvious truth that women today are misguided, don't know how to pick men because they didn't have fathers in their homes to look up to, they will still date these men and then put a blanket statement over men in general and say, oh yeah, men are cheaters, they're all trash, they all have a bunch of kids everywhere. It's like, no, that's not the reality of most men. Listen, guys, as always, curious to know what you guys thought of this social experiment. Leave your comments down below. I'm interested. Listen, I appreciate you guys for checking out another episode of The Coffee Pod. Till next time, man, I'm out. Peace.